At Circuit World, we offer a wide selection of major appliances, name brands like Whirlpool, LG, Frigidaire, and more. Looking for furniture? Come by and browse our showroom or check out the Endless Aisle, a touchscreen kiosk with thousands of options. Need electronics, gaming computers, laptops, desktops, tablets? We have it all. OLED or QLED, 4K or high def. We have the selection to get you the TV of your dreams. And don't forget, at Circuit World, your credit is always good. So ask about our convenient payment options and 120 days, same as cash. Come see us today at one of our 5 area locations.
It's an opportunity you can't miss. Days Chevrolet in Jasper is stepping up and paying top dollar for your trade-in. Any make, any model. Days wants it, and we're paying top dollar to get it. So, what'll you do with all that cash? Shop for your new Chevy at dayschevroletjasper.com. New vehicles are arriving weekly, or shop from our great selection of pre-owned inventory. Don't delay. Come get cash for your vehicle today at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Welcome into the North Georgia Friday Night Pressbox podcast. I'm your host, Tim Tao, joined by RJ Casey and our Team F-Line Sports Director, Jake West. Last night, we recorded a great segment with Coach Grant Myers in Pickens County, and we talked for 20-plus minutes about the Pickens-Gilmer game. Unfortunately, late last night after the podcast, we got the news that the game was canceled due to COVID. So some of the parts in this podcast that you will see later on in the segment was pre-recorded due to the cancellation. So, but just unfortunate news for the Pickens-Gilmer game. And Jake and RJ we'll talk about it just for a little bit. But I know Dragon Nations at this point, they're not gonna be able to play today, Friday, and hopefully they'll find a game, and our thoughts go out to Gilmer dealing with the COVID issues for sure.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunately going to be the first of a few that's going to happen, cancellations that are going to happen this year. Sometimes there's just no way around it. You hate that the call has to be made at 9:30 on Wednesday night like this one was. That's kind of going to hurt Pickens being able to find a game, like you said, but hopefully they are able to find a game and they can keep moving on. RJ, I know you're really disappointed.
Yeah, it's disappointing, especially with it being the rivalry game to begin the year and everything. One of the biggest games of the year to start the season and everything. But like Tim said, you got to feel for people in Gilmer dealing with what they're dealing with now with the COVID issues. You got to feel for the kids. Pickens, who's been getting up all week for this game, getting ready for it, excited to start the season, and just have it all just stop and maybe having to wait another week to play a game. Hopefully they could play a game on Friday. I know Coach Myers put it out there. He's looking for anybody and everybody from Northwest Georgia, Northeast Georgia, somewhere in Alabama, somewhere in Tennessee, willing to go there to play. Just trying to find a game so the kids can have reps, because it's going to hurt the kids if you're getting ready for an opponent all week and then just having to no, you're not going to play, and then you're having to wait another week to get ready for a different opponent altogether.
Yeah, you're so right, RJ, and not to cut you short, but by the time we're recording this right now, Pickens may have a game by 7:00 tonight. So it's an ongoing, ever changing situation. Just like last year, we recorded the Fannin Gilmer podcast, and Fannin Gilmer was canceled just like that right after we recorded. Mm-hmm. So it's a fluid situation, and like we said, our thoughts go out to Gilmer. Their players are just as upset and hurt as Pickens' players are. It's definitely not a fun situation to deal with, but something we want to talk about that we've incorporated in the show. And I know me and Jake have been fooling around with these Massey ratings. We're going to be introducing Massey ratings on the show this year. And you'll see them in the show coming up. Massey ratings was used kind of in the BCS formula back in the old college football days. So when you see lines on the bottom of the screen, don't think we're betting on football games. These are just lines that are projected by Massey ratings. We really just do it to get people talking. So you'll see teams that are favored by Massey ratings. These aren't our predictions. They are just computer-generated projections. And we've all been messing around with them the last few weeks. And we think it's pretty cool, don't we, Jake?
Yeah, it is. It's just something where it's an actual formula giving predictions instead of a couple rednecks giving predictions like it usually is on the podcast. So it's something that holds a little more weight than just us giving our own predictions.
Yes. So be sure, like I said, this the first segment we done was pre-recorded. So this is why we're getting on here and just kind of letting everybody know about the game being canceled and the Massey ratings. Like I said, we don't bet on high school football games. You don't either because you can't. But they do have lines and point predictions. So it's a really cool thing to look at. So, guys, anything before we get started with the show? We'll take a quick commercial break in just a second. We'll have Coach Cheatham on the show talking about Fannin Union. Matt Ray with Sports Illustrated. He's going to break down Jefferson and Raven. Malachi Starks and Gunnar Stockton. It's going to be a fun week on the Friday Night Pressbox. So, Jake and RJ, y'all ready to roll?
Yeah, just enjoy the podcast. Enjoy the Friday night games. Please go support all these games because you don't know when it's going to be taken away. So
that's right.
Enjoy the games. Enjoy the kids. And just enjoy high school football.
So true. So this is Tim Tao with the Friday Night Pressbox. We'll take a quick commercial break, and then we will be back with Fannin County head coach Chad Cheatham talking about Fannin Union. This is the Friday Night Pressbox live on Team FYN Sports.
At Circuit World, we offer a wide selection of major appliances, name brands like Whirlpool, LG, Frigidaire, and more. Looking for furniture? Come by and browse our showroom or check out the endless aisle, a touchscreen kiosk with thousands of options. Need electronics, gaming computers, laptops, desktops, tablets? We have it all. OLED or QLED, 4K or high def. We have the selection to get you the TV of your dreams. And don't forget, at Circuit World, your credit is always good. So ask about our convenient payment options and 120 days, same as cash. Come see us today at one of our 5 area locations.
It's an opportunity you can't miss. Days Chevrolet in Jasper is stepping up and paying top dollar for your trade-in. Any make, any model. Days wants it, and we're paying top dollar to get it. So, what'll you do with all that cash? Shop for your new Chevy at dayschevroletjasper.com. New vehicles are arriving weekly, or shop from our great selection of pre-owned inventory. Don't delay. Come get cash for your vehicle today at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
All right, and we are back here at the Friday Night Press Box on Team FYN Sports. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you are watching, please feel free to like, share, comment. We're going to bring in Coach Chad Cheatham here in just a second. There's the man right there. Coach Cheatham, how are you today?
Doing good, man. Just got off the field. Doing good. Just got home.
Good to see you. Thank you. Thanks for joining us, Coach. Hey, we're good. It's another day closer to football season, so we're good. We're good. Coach, thanks for coming on again. It's hard to talk about this season with so much success we had last season. But what are the expectations for this football team this season, Coach?
I don't think there are any different expectations from this year to last year to the previous years. I think you want to win the region. I think you want to host playoff games. I think you want to let your senior class go out with a lot of success. They've put a lot of time into your program, and I was thinking about it on the way home. And these guys have worked so hard to get to where they're at in those last 4 years, and it will be their last first high school football game at Fannin County High School. Some of them may go on to play college ball. We don't know that yet, but it's a special time, and you can look to the past and you can look to the future and you can look at all those things. But this is their team. This is their year, and I think they're ready to play football, and we'll see what happens on Friday night.
Coach, you talk about several of these guys wanting to play college ball, play at the next level, and I feel like your staff does a phenomenal job. I'm not sure which guy does the promotion of these players, if it's a committee, but you guys do a great job. How key is that for you guys as a staff to put these highlights out there and talk about these guys on social media in order to help them, get opportunities, get eyes on them from scouts and have other guys look at them and say, okay, this guy's good. Maybe he can play at the next level.
Well, we encourage all of our athletes to build a Twitter profile, which we feel like right now that's one of the biggest social media outlets for them to get recognized and put their huddle films out there and highlight films. Coach O'Neill does a great job sending things out as far as recruitment goes. I try to do the best I can. I'm very limited technologically, so I try to push out as much as I can. These kids know a lot more than I do, and so most of mine are likes and replies and shares more than they are putting things out there. But, our entire coaching staff, along with obviously Tim and Eddie and those guys at the rec, they do a phenomenal job of getting our kids out there.
Coach, you talk about, sorry to cut you off here, Tim, but one more question. You talk about, you're limited with your social media skills. The other day you tweeted out a great tweet in regards to, just be the best player for this team, not on this team. Talk a little bit more about your meaning behind that and what kind of sparked that mindset for you to put that out there for everybody to see.
I don't know. I saw it. I teach teaching as a profession in high school. And I try to recruit teachers into the teaching field and try to get them excited about education and reaching young people. And I was looking through some things and I saw the quote. I don't know who said it, but I thought it was just an amazing statement that we don't have to be the best on our team, but we have to be the best for our team. And I when you tweet those things out, you hope that people don't only think about athletics, they think about society, and they think about things that are going on in general. And we're all in this together, whether it be, football or all the things that are happening right now. So I tell our kids, don't think you have to be the best. Just be better than you ever thought you could be.
That's so true. That is so true. Be what, because someday you may have to be the man.
That's right.
And I've got a young man who lives with me, and I keep telling him, you're going to have to be more selfish. He's almost too unselfish, but be the best that you can for your team when they need them, and right. That's all the time. And everybody has a role. It doesn't matter if you're a special teams player or you're a starter on offense or defense or whatever it is. There's a special place for everybody on every team. It doesn't matter what you do and the role that you play. So we live in kind of a society that's pretty, I, me, and we forget the fact that true servants and true leaders have a heart for others and to see others be successful. And that's the most important thing I want our kids to know. I agree.
Absolutely.
Coach, I saw you last week. I know. I want to know about your quarterback situation. You got some versatility back there, don't you?
I'm not giving away anything. No, I tell you what, we're very fortunate and blessed that Dave came back from that surgery on the foot. And, it's tough after missing a year of football, almost a year and a half since he was able to step on the field and come in. Dave had a lot of wisdom and game experience before he broke that foot. Yeah. And so it wasn't like it was extremely new to him. He and Chris, our offense coordinator, Chris Thigpen, have a great relationship, and they have had for a long time, just like Chris had with Luke. So I think that is a major it makes a big difference when that relationship has been built previously. And I know people want to know about Seth and, how are we going to use him? And I'm not going to tell you.
Don't blame me. I don't blame you.
I want teams to defend the field. Seth can play, as I talked to Chris today, Seth can play anywhere. And so they're going to have to find him. And that's what we want to do. We want them to try to find him and dictate what they do defensively as opposed to them dictating what we do offensively.
I was concerned about Mashburn coming back from that injury. Somebody told me, there might be a possibility he never play again. And
it's true. That's very true.
I thought he looked very good the other night. He's elusive. I don't know how in the world they can't tackle him, but they don't. And, but what I was meaning by versatility, you pop out there with Reese back there at quarterback and kill him around on a sweep around the end. He's that gun big. But I thought you had a lot of versatility up there.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, Coach. I don't know where he's going to be. I will see.
Coach, question about Seth.
All right.
As we've stated, phenomenal player at all facets of the game. He plays really hard. He works hard in the offseason to get better. How much of a key was he last year in practice at taking snaps and reps at quarterback? Because like I said earlier today when I spoke with you, he came in that third quarter, opening drive of the third quarter, threw an 80-yard touchdown, a beautiful spiral on the ball. I mean, how many reps, or what was kind of the situation in terms of him getting reps last year as a quarterback?
Well, I mean,
It was always in the background. We had a plan. If something happened to Luke, that we would go to Reese in that situation, and obviously change more of our offensive game plan to getting Seth downhill with a blocker in front of him. And Seth is a phenomenal athlete. He's a great baseball player. He can, as a catcher, I mean, he throws the ball well, and obviously throws the football well. His arm strength's incredible. He power cleans 300 pounds. He's a bruiser when it comes to running the football. He's very football smart, which means he can play any position offensively, outside linebacker on defense. He can drop back and play on the hash at safety. But the biggest, I talked to you about this today, the biggest thing that I've seen out of him this year is his ability just to step up and be a leader and the first thing he said to me Friday night after the game, because he obviously wasn't in the Gilmer game, we kind of met afterwards, he and I, and he said, "How about David Mashburn, man?" And that says a lot about Seth, that he is going to be the best for his team, not the best on the team.
I hate to kind of build up your ego because you're a great coach, and I still feel like last year was phenomenal, but I still think that your best football as a coach is ahead of you. I think that last year's decision to throw him back there at the start of that second half in that playoff game was one of the better calls, one of the better strategic things I've ever seen on a football field.
Oh man, I was grasping at straws. I guess everybody was going down. I didn't have a whole lot of choice. You take the best athletes you can find and you put him back there. And I'm no genius by any means, but I know when I've got a cat like that, that I can get the ball in his hands. That's where I'm going to put it.
Coach, real quick, I want to talk about Union County for a little bit. What do we got to do well to win the football game Friday night? We got a good team coming in Rebel Stadium.
We got to do everything well, Tim. We have to cut down on penalties. We have to execute. We have to be really, really good in the special team game, which we've seen some live action up front, but we haven't seen tackling live on a punt returner or kickoff returner. Not really a hard rush from a defensive standpoint on our punt team. I think at this time of the year, special teams might be the most important part of the football game. And the bottom line is a team that makes the fewest mistakes is going to win. And that's always the way it happens. It doesn't matter what level that you're playing at. And when I say the team that makes the most mistakes or makes the fewest mistakes win, that's execution in every facet of the game. You have three phases, and we've got to be good in all of them. They're very good. I mean, they always are, and they're always going to play us really good. It doesn't matter the situation. Union has been coached up. Coach Allison's there. They're coached up now with Coach Perry and Coach Nelson. I mean, I've scrambled everywhere in the world to try to find any film, any newspaper articles, something I can get from North Carolina to find out what Coach Nelson's going to do. And then we had to go way back to East Hall days where Coach Perry was the head coach there. And, I told Chris today, I really don't know right now. I know their philosophies in general, and I know their personnel, but I think they can explode at any time on both sides of the ball.
Coach, I have one more quick question for you. Obviously, Brian Allison was at Union County for years and helped build up a regime, winning tradition there at Union County High School. How different is it for you as a guy that, goes to midfield, shakes his hand before every matchup, to not see Brian Allison on the sideline in that purple and gold?
Brian and I have known each other for a long time. Brian took the head coaching job when I was at Raven, I don't know, 96, 97 or so. I can't remember. I'm so old, and all the years run together. But he was coming from Furman. He was a Union County guy, and he had played on, I think, the national championship team there. He had GA for a little bit, and he came on, and we kind of developed with Raven and Union. We kind of developed a pretty special relationship with him. And then he went to Winder, I went to Jefferson. So there we go again. We're just down the road from one another, playing each other. And Brian's a special guy. He's a great friend. And it'll be different, obviously, but I've had the opportunity to coach against Coach Perry. Love the guy. And he's doing a phenomenal job with those kids up there.
Coach, go ahead, Coach Stone.
Coach, we've talked about quarterbacks. We've talked about, this, that, and the other. What you replaced a lot of talent on your offense and defensive lines. How's that coming along?
I think that on the offensive line, Dylan Collins is still there on the left side, and Rico Arianis at the left guard. That gives us some very good help from some returners. They're very good ball players, I would say, as a couple of good offensive linemen as I've ever seen coming through the years. Taylor Collis at center, new. A lot of times people underestimate him because he is not a big physical guy, but his technique's incredible. He does things to nose guards who are much bigger than him that I've never seen done. Tammon's coming on at the right guard. He's had a very, very good summer. Tammon has been in the weight room and really streamlined his body. I don't know if you've seen him lately, but there's a completely different guy there at that right guard. And then we've moved Logan Long, our nose, over to the right tackle. And obviously he's going to play on both sides. And, that guy's been starting for us as a freshman. He's seasoned. And he for a big guy, he doesn't get fatigued at all. So from the offensive line standpoint, obviously you've got Coach Collis, who was probably is in my opinion, and I've been around a lot of offensive line coaches in my life, and I've been to a lot of college practices, so on and so forth. He might be the best that I've ever been around. As he's a technician every day, and those guys are coached so well. And then on the defensive side, we're rotating a lot of bodies. We're fortunate that we have several packages involved where we can get heavy bodies on the field in a short down situation. We can get speed bodies on the field in a third and long situation or a screen situation. And then we've got, we can get them some rest, in the middle of the field in regular situations. And Coach Patterson has done just a phenomenal job with those guys and continues to do a great job. So, again, we got to play, and we'll see what happens. Union is very big up front, and they can move you around. So, can we rush them? Can we get a pass rush going? That's to be determined. Can we block them? That's to be determined. I know they'll be ready to play, and we'll just have to wait and see.
It's going to be a special scene at Rebel Stadium Friday night. I can't wait. Chris, you're going to be on the call. I'm going to be in the booth. Coach Stone, we hope you make it. Coach Cheatham, we know he's going to be there. A lot of excitement. Any final words, Coach, before we say you goodbye?
I just I feel very blessed and fortunate to be able to be here with you guys. You guys do a phenomenal job. All three of you are very close friends of mine, and I want to tell you that I appreciate you very much and what you do for high school football around the area. I've got a chance I've coached with Coach Stone, and Chris and I have a great relationship. And Tim, I love you like a brother. We're very blessed to be in Fannin County. We're very blessed to be in Union County, and it's or wherever we are. It's not easy right now in the coaching field. People thought things were just going to disappear and go away, and we're still coaching in 20 and 21 is completely different than it was coaching in 98, 2009. It's kind of crazy, but still, like you said, extreme adrenaline rush, extreme excitement. It's why we do what we do, because we love our kids, and you guys love our kids, and it's emotional. And I could get emotional talking about it as I think about my kids, and I'm not going to, but we're just guys. We got to remember that we're very blessed and we're very fortunate, and that there's a higher power that's really in charge, and he's taking care of us.
No doubt. No doubt. Very well said, Coach. Very well said. Coach, thank you so much for coming on. We'll definitely see you soon, and can't wait for Friday night.
It's going to be fun, Tim. Chris, I appreciate you. Coach Stone, it's good to see you.
Good to see you. Have a great game. Have a great game Friday.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
And that was Fannin County head coach Chad Cheatham.
How can you not? How can you not like Chad Cheatham?
Oh, he's a great guy. Great guy.
I could go on a whole podcast about how much I love Chad Cheatham, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. But I love the guy. What's that, Chris?
Unless you're his opponent for that one Friday night. And I feel like he's that guy the next Monday you're talking to him about what you guys can work on or whatnot. So, great guy. Great coach.
All the games that I coached in Fannin for 10 years, everybody would say, Fannin Gilmer. And I enjoyed getting ready to play Union probably as much as anybody, because Coach Allison, of course, he's not there, but it was a task to get ready to play them, and I think fortunate we were probably 50-50 with them, but I enjoyed it as much or anything. And, win or lose, both teams, I never saw a crossword in either team when, whoever won the game.
Well, and with all due respect to those people in Gilmer County, it's not Fannin Gilmer anymore. It's really Fannin Union. That's how the rivalry for Fannin County, you can make the argument, is Fannin Union right now. It
is. I personally enjoyed it more than anything. I don't know what it was, and part of it was for years when we were in the same region, we played the last game of the year, and that was big. That was big to me.
Obviously going to be a big-time atmosphere at Rebel Stadium Friday night. I don't think there's going to be many empty seats left. Union County coming off a 14-7 win over Southeast Whitfield Friday night. Fannin County coming off a win over Hayesville in the scrimmage. It's going to be electric atmosphere. It's a rivalry game. Union County's won 8 of the last 10. Over Fannin County. Fannin County did get the victory last year, however, but 8 out of the last 10 still says something right there.
Yeah, that game last year was huge. I never really understood just how much a rivalry, victory or loss even can change the whole season. I feel like last year's Fannin County Union County game really set the tone for both programs.
Yeah, and who knows? It could set the tone for both programs again on Friday night. We're going to take a quick commercial break right here on the Friday Night Press Box on Team FYN Sports. When we come back, we're going to have Sports Illustrated's Matt Ray, who was a guest on our podcast many times last year. It's going to be good to have Matt back, and we're going to talk Jefferson and Raven County, a big game kind of close in our area. We're going to talk about the two athletes that are big-time recruiting prospects. They're actually both committed to Georgia, Gunnar Stockton and Malachi Stark. So we'll be back in just a moment. We'll take a quick break.
At Circuit World, we offer a wide selection of major appliances, name brands like Whirlpool, LG, Frigidaire, and more. Looking for furniture? Come by and browse our showroom or check out the endless aisle, a touchscreen kiosk with thousands of options. Need electronics, gaming computers, laptops, desktops, tablets? We have it all. OLED or QLED, 4K or high def. We have the selection to get you the TV of your dreams. And don't forget, at Circuit World, your credit is always good. So ask about our convenient payment options and 120 days same as cash. Come see us today at one of our 5 area locations.
It's an opportunity you can't miss. Days Chevrolet in Jasper is stepping up and paying top dollar for your trade-in. Any make, any model. Days wants it, and we're paying top dollar to get it. So, what'll you do with all that cash? Shop for your new Chevy at DaysChevroletJasper.com. New vehicles are arriving weekly, or shop from our great selection of pre-owned inventory. Don't delay. Come get cash for your vehicle today at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
All right, we're back. We're going to bring on Matt Ray. Sports Illustrated. Matt, good to have you. Hey, it's football season, Matt. I know you're excited. I know the VRT on Sports Illustrated crew is fired up. How you doing today, Matt?
Man, it's good to be here with you guys. It's Fannin Union Week. Tim Towle versus Chris Mathis, the border war. We got high school football on the TV right now. Peachtree TV, Mays and Cherokee kicking things off. Cherokee out to a quick lead. So the Corky Kel's back. High school football's back. A lot of good action on Friday night. It's a good time of the year.
It don't get no better. It don't get no better. Hey, Matt, real quick, talk about your role with Sports Illustrated real quick for the viewers that don't know, and talk about what you guys do with that.
Yeah, so, we publish and run the Tennessee Sports Illustrated website covering the Tennessee Volunteers on the ground at, pretty much every event that they have, from baseball to football to basketball. Fall camp finally underway, media access back available for that. So spent a lot of time there, player interviews, coach interviews, shooting highlights from practice. And then, of course, covering the recruiting trail. That's an integral part of any program. That's how programs in the SEC are built, is with that recruiting footprint. So with a school like Tennessee, there's a lot of recruiting coverage. And then nationally, work alongside John Garcia and guys like Brooks Austin, Zach Goodall, Matt Gallatin at Sports Illustrated All-American, where we formulate, our top 99 rankings, position rankings year in and year out, and things like that. So a lot of recruiting coverage in addition to that team coverage. We have a really good staff covering the team at Tennessee alongside me, Jag Nichols, Jack Foster, Dale Dowden, a lot of different coverage from each one of those guys. So, that football is obviously the primary focus most of the time, because there's always something going with it day in, day out with recruiting and team news. But a lot of basketball, and then, Tony Vitello's baseball program, really went to new heights this spring. So a lot going on there as well.
Dang, we had them Georgia Bulldogs quiet right there, buddy.
Yeah.
I love it.
And what a season the Tennessee baseball team had. Tony Vitello. It's good to have Matt on. Matt, we're going to talk to you a little bit about Raven and Jefferson. That's a big game in our area. Gunnar Stockton, Malachi Starks, two two big players that I know Sports Illustrated is pretty high on. You care to dive into them first? We'll talk about Gunner or Malachi, whoever you want to talk about.
Yeah, we can talk about Malachi first. That's a guy that in our most recent rankings update came in at number 28 overall out of our top 99. And when you look at Malachi, the first thing that pops and the first thing that you're going to see when they take on Raven County on Friday night is the explosiveness of his game. The biggest question for Malachi is where does that explosiveness end up at the next level? He plays a lot of Wildcat quarterback at the high school level, but there's so many different projections for him. Can he move into that Georgia backfield and be the next great running back for those guys? A really nice pull up right here, Tim. As you can see, he outran about 3 angles right there. This is a guy that may end up on the defensive side of the football, though. Just does so many things well. And right there was another really prime example of what you're going to see from Malachi is that short area quickness. Not so much this entire run. As you can see, he shows off that he's the best athlete on the field. But right there at one point, coming off of that option read, he was pinned up, and that short area quickness to create enough separation to get the edge and then dial up the rest of that run. There's just so much explosiveness from him. You see the ball skills. Where is he going to end up at when he gets to Athens? He's a guy that's firmly locked into the Georgia class, picked Georgia over Alabama and Clemson. Just a huge win for Kirby Smart there to keep him in state. But just a guy that can do it all. He's only going to continue to ascend as he becomes more polished in playing one position. He's such a mystery in terms of where he could play. He could play in the slot. He could play running back. He's obviously going to get some touches on special teams, but at the same time, he can play the nickel. He can play the star. He can probably back up and play a safety as a boundary safety, or he could probably line up at cornerback. A guy that's just a little bit of a Swiss Army knife. That's the reason we have him rated so high. But there's just going to be so much that Malachi Starks can do, and then you're going to, see him go up against another premier household name on Friday night in Gunner Stockton.
How big is Malachi?
Oh, let's see, Mark. He is. I had it pulled up right here just a second ago. I want to say he's around 6 foot, 195, but don't hold me to that.
He's a ball player. Even though I watched him in the state championship last year, even though they lost to Marist, man, you talk about tough. What a player the Georgia Bulldogs are getting. He's a warrior, and I don't know if Georgia will use him as a safety. I think that's kind of what they're leaning towards as a DB or a safety.
I think that's where he's going to end up at, Tim, is probably as a safety, moving around. Kirby likes to get exotic with a lot of those blitzes. And, Mark, he's listed at 6'1", 200 right now.
He looked like a big guy.
But it's like you're saying, he's going to get – you got to give him the football. A player like that, touching the special team. Yeah, you got to find a way to get him the football, yeah. He's a player. He
reminds me of – maybe not as well polished at this stage of the game, but he reminds me of an Eric Berry coming out of high school, a guy that you're going to see those ball skills take over, and you just want the football in his hands, but he's so dominant on the defensive side of the football and such a valuable weapon because of those natural instincts, the way that he flows to the ball, that size that you can't, put him on offense and take away such a weapon on your defense. And when you look at a guy like Kirby Smart, who's so defensive minded, you have to think that he's going to end up on that side of the football in Athens.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the other player in this game, decent quarterback at Raven County, Gunner Stockton. I know Chris has got to see him firsthand last season. But let's pull up. We're going to pull up Gunner Stockton's film here, and in just a second. But Gunner Stockton, obviously a big player, committed to Georgia, was committed to South Carolina, decommitted. There's a lot of talks about him going to Auburn, ended up at Georgia. For now, I believe he will stay committed, so it'll be interesting to see in that situation, Matt.
Yeah, another nice win for Kirby Smart and company, keeping a household name at the quarterback position in state. Georgia's loaded with quarterback talent this year. There's a lot of talent in the quarterback position group in the state of Georgia. Guys like Sam Horn, Jakari Brown, AJ Swan, who's playing right now. There's a lot of guys in this class that have committed to major Power 5 schools, Holden Gariner at Auburn. But Gunner is a guy who, at Sports Illustrated, he did make our top 99. That's a little bit off compared to some of the rest of the industry. And it's just based on the way we do our rankings. It's based on initial college fit over pro potential, and Gunner has pro potential. He has as live of an arm as anyone in the class. He didn't camp this summer for a lot of people to see him. Didn't do a lot of different things. Didn't do the Elite 11, but had a chance to see him at 7-on-7 with Hustle Inc. and Tony Ballard's group, and just a guy that gets better every time you see him. Now, is he a type A athlete? No, he's not. He's not the biggest guy out there. He's not the fastest guy out there, but he's a competitor. He's very fundamentally sound. You can tell he's been well coached. Everybody knows about his relationship with the Shaws. So this is a guy that has a high ceiling at the college level and has played in a really good program at Raven County as a big piece to build your recruiting class around when you have a guy that has been on the national scene for as long as Gunner has. And at one point, Gunner was ranked he was the top quarterback in the nation, depending on where you were looking. Now, that's consistently kind of declined as others have entered the picture and recruiting services have had a chance to evaluate. So this is still a guy that's got a committable offer to Georgia, Auburn, South Carolina. And that's where you really want to look at are those committable offers. And he's going to go out and put up video game type numbers night in and night out. He's closing in on being the all-time leading passer in Georgia. We'll see what happens with him at Georgia. That quarterback room is full of talent. You had to think JT Daniels is going to be gone after this year. So you're going to have a 5-star battle that we got to watch on ESPN last year between Brock Vandegrift and Gunner Stockton when Prince Avenue Christian came up to Raven. And you're going to throw a guy like Carson Beck in that mix. But, Gunner Stockton's a competitor. He's not going to run from anything. And I think that's what you're going to see from him the most on Friday nights is how he competes, the way he carries himself, the way he leads. And, when you do that and you have some of the tools that he has as a passer, those gaudy stat lines are going to, tend to pop up. I think he threw 45 touchdowns last year. So a guy that really gets it.
Yeah, and you got a good team around him. Offensive lineman, Bear Gold. Just got a receiver, the Gibson kid transferred in from Dawson County. Yep. So he's got weapons. Raven County's number 1 in AA. Jefferson's number 1 in 4A. Jefferson, I believe, according to Massey ratings, is a 15.5-point favorite. So that'll be interesting to see Friday night. Two big-time players, 2 big-time programs in North Georgia. Raven, Jefferson, when you think about North Georgia programs, those 2 come to mind. So what a scene it's going to be down there at Jefferson Friday night. A lot of football fans will be tuned in for that one as well. Matt, are you guys covering any games this weekend for Sports Illustrated?
Yeah, it starts on Friday night. We will be at Johns Creek versus Gainesville, Buford versus North Cobb. So 5:30 at Gainesville, 8:30 at North Cobb, and then all day on Saturday in Mercedes-Benz. There's 5 games starting that day. I'll probably get there around midday as some of the Premier 7A contests get going. You got Gwinnett, North Gwinnett versus Hoover, and Brookwood versus Collins Hill for the final 2 games. Top player in the country, according to Sports Illustrated All-American, Travis Hunter will be the headliner for the entire Corky Kell because he's the top player in the country. But he'll be playing in prime time on Sunday night, and a lot of eyes are going to be tuned into the Florida State commitment.
Absolutely. Matt, real quick, tell everybody where they can follow you guys and all that information.
You can find us on Twitter at VR2 on SI, same on Facebook, Instagram, and our website's si.com/college/Tennessee.
All right. Well, Matt, we sure do appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Hey,
I enjoyed it.
Matt.
Yes.
When you're around Walter Nolan,
yeah,
tell him he needs to be in Knoxville.
Well, Mark, that's another big piece of news right there. Walter Nolan transferring to Powell, something that finally happened after about a month of speculation. But you talk about Georgia, talk about Tennessee. talk about all the schools in the country. That cat right there has all of them. A guy that, as much as I value Travis Hunter and what he can do on both sides of the ball, I mentioned Hunter being the number one player in the country. When the votes went to the table, I voted for Walter Nolan at Sports Illustrated All-American, just edging out Hunter. I don't think there's 300-pound guys that can move the way that he does, north and south and laterally, and can probably play every position and really tight end if you needed him to. So, but Tim,
a big get for Tennessee, literally.
Yeah, if Tennessee's able to win Walter Nolan, it's going to be a big get.
Certainly for Powell High School.
Certainly for Powell High School. They are now the consensus favorite for that 5A state title.
Absolutely. All right, Matt, thank you very much for coming on, and we'll be seeing you soon.
Thank you, gentlemen.
See you, Matt.
And that was Sports Illustrated's Matt Ray. Always a good time having Matt. Guys, we got just about 5 minutes left on the show. We're going to put our Massey ratings predictions there on the bottom. Once again, if you're watching this show, guys, please give us a like, share, comment. We definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. These predictions on the bottom are set by Massey ratings. Massey ratings also was kind of using the formula for the old BCS. They've got Pickens as a 6.5-point favorite against Gilmer. Remember, guys, we're not betting on these lines. You can't bet on high school games. I'm sorry. You just can't do it yet. Maybe here in a few years you can. A lot of good. Harrelson at Pepperell, a big game in Region 7AA. Harrelson's a 2.5-point favorite. Daresville, a 6.5 over Chattooga. Cass and Dawson. Dawson's a 2.5. North Hall traveling to Paulding County. Paulding County's a 7.5-point favorite. White County, a road underdog against Stevens County. Rowan Rockmart, a big game in Northwest Georgia. A huge game, actually. Murray County, Southeast Whitfield. Murray County's a 4.5-point favorite. Just some of the games that Massey Ratings has predicted there on the bottom. We're going to use this tool this year. We think it's really cool. It'll be interesting to come back the following week and see how close Massey Ratings were. But, guys, we are just a few hours away from kickoff. You know, the COVID pandemic's still here. There's players that are around the area that are positive. You know, some schools have different protocols. The GHSA's moving forward. You know, obviously still taking precautions. But we're glad we're able to play. We still wish we were 100% back to normal. We're not, but you know, hopefully we're trending upwards to get there.
Yeah, no doubt. One of the teams that I cover at the radio station, Towns County, they had their opponent cancel their game on Friday due to COVID situation. They did reschedule with a different team, so that's good. But, yeah, it is a little bit scary. And all we can do is control what we can control, as Chad Cheatham says every day at practice. But, again, just very excited that we've made it this far as we get set for opening kickoff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm fired up, Chris. I can't wait to see you Friday. Even though we're not supposed to really talk, we don't like each other. We're going to give each other a hug, and it's going to be good to see you.
It's border war. We got the borders right here. That's the only thing stopping us from going at it right now.
You got a wall. You got a wall there.
I'm a little bit. I think we'll be in a position to where my broadcast will pick up your third down. So that's going to be, that'll be interesting. But you guys are the home team, so I can't say a word.
What is it? What is it? Daryl Waltrip says, "Boogity, boogity, boogity."
Boogity, boogity, buddy, let's go racing ball.
Let's get football going, baby.
Absolutely.
I am excited. Can't wait. It's going to be a special time. It's going to be a special scene at Fannin County. It's going to be a special scene at Gilmer County. A lot of good games are in the area. You know, we only talked about 3 games in 1 hour. We've been on this show for 58 minutes, and we've talked about 3 games. I mean, you think we're excited about football?
That tells me they need to tune back in next week for results from all the games.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Somebody just said that I'd been quiet.
Shoot far. Oh, well, Coach has got the Tennessee show too, so he's going to talk. I'm sure he'll talk on the Tennessee show too. We appreciate Coach Stone for all he does. Coach Stone makes the show go around, Chris.
Oh, no doubt.
They don't tune in to hear me and you. They tune in to hear Coach.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, right.
I have no coaching experience, so I'm just going off broadcaster and how I feel in my heart, much less he's got coaching experience.
I'm just a fan. That's all I am. I'm just a fan. Love high school football. Thank you guys for tuning in. The Friday Night Press Box on Team FYN Sports. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Friday Night Press Box. Follow Team FYN Sports too. We're enjoying our partnership with those guys. We're going to have a lot of games covered on Friday. Crazy amount. So thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. We appreciate you tuning in. Enjoy football this Friday night, and thank you guys. Safe travels to your games.
At Circuit World, we offer a wide selection of major appliances, name brands like Whirlpool, LG, Frigidaire, and more. Looking for furniture? Come by and browse our showroom or check out the endless aisle, a touchscreen kiosk with thousands of options. Need electronics, gaming computers, laptops, desktops, tablets? We have it all. OLED or QLED, 4K or high def. We have the selection to get you the TV of your dreams. And don't forget, at Circuit World, your credit is always good. So ask about our convenient payment options and 120 days same as cash. Come see us today at one of our 5 area locations.
It's an opportunity you can't miss. Days Chevrolet in Jasper is stepping up and paying top dollar for your trade-in. Any make, any model. Days wants it, and we're paying top dollar to get it. So, what'll you do with all that cash? Shop for your new Chevy at DaysChevroletJasper.com. New vehicles are arriving weekly, or shop from our great selection of pre-owned inventory. Don't delay. Come get cash for your vehicle today at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.